I put this spot here for a purpose. What I did was I made a whole cup of coffee and I poured it on there. Okay? And then to remove it, I used Resolve and I sprayed a whole bunch of Resolve on it. And the reason I did that was because I wanted you guys to experience the typical experience the carpet cleaner has when he shows up and how to break down the variables that we have. So we're gonna go through this. We don't know anything about the carpet. Andre's gonna do the testing for me and we're gonna know what this material is. And the reason I put this on there is because there's two types of stains that we're dealing with. One is your coffee stain, which is gonna cause wicking, which is capillary action, right? The process of drying. And then the solvent and the Resolve, whatever Resolve has in it, whole bunch of residue of Resolve on it. So it's gonna foam up and all that too when we clean it. And that was done so it's more of a, since it wasn't rinsed out, it acts like a non-volatile dry solvent that's attracted dirt. This wasn't the original color. This is the original color has been changed by me walking on it, going in and out, because I made this about 30 days ago for the class. So this is probably an example of what you typically will have to experience. And in order to do it correctly the first time around, you don't want to come back, right? We don't want to call back. So the more we understand, the better it's going to be. So I'm going to turn it over to Andre.
All right.
Andre is going to be well, first of all, we need to know what this is. Wouldn't that be nice? Find out what the material is, so Andre will take over.
So, like we learned in the class, first thing you do is try to identify what the rug is. So find a little piece at the edge, take it off. So I got my piece right here. So it's melting. So we know it's not cotton. It smells like plastic.
Synthetic.
So
Is it getting hard?
Pardon?
Is it getting hard or no?
Yeah,
Like a beading?
like a beading.
Maybe nylon.
So polyester.
So we're still guessing, and let's say we want to know, but I want you to understand why we want to know. So go ahead and do the formic acid. So remember, we know now, the first test is natural or synthetic. So now we know it's synthetic, but we may want to know if it's acid dyed or solution dyed. That's the next step. If it's nylon and it's acid dyed, it's going to be totally different. We're going to have to worry about the coffee being part of it. Now, if it turns out, on the other hand, to be polyester, then what is polyester? It's like olefin, right? There's nothing gonna, it's just sitting there then. Then we may be more concerned about the wicking up effect. So it does make a difference, but you don't have to know that. But if you know it, it just will make the results better. So we're gonna put formic acid on it now. If it's nylon, it's gonna completely dissolve. You see it dissolving?
No, not at all.
No.
Okay, it's not dissolving. So what is this, do you think?
Polyester.
Polyester.
It's just the synthetic.
100%. Now that we know it's polyester, we know that the spot is not gonna be there anymore, right? We do know that, right? No, you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. Seriously.
Yeah.
Franklin, can you throw this away, please? It smells terrible. If it was nylon, then the stain would be a problem for us. Since it's polyester, it's just sitting there. Do you get that part?
Yeah.
So the coffee part is not even a concern now. The wicking is the only concern. So what do you think would make this worse, the situation? If I take my pre-spray and I soak it, it's gonna take it inside, it's gonna spread out, and it's gonna wick up next day. So I wanna make it wet, but not over wet. I wanna keep it above the primary backing, basically. But now, if I know that the customers put Resolve on it, why the heck am I gonna put more soap on it? That's the last thing I wanna do, right? Why am I adding more soap to it? It's gonna loosen it up and it's gonna make it whiter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extract it first. And that's the exact reason when I told you the reason that we wanna pull the wand towards us, the first pass, we always wanna do that because we don't wanna put anything that has a possibility of going inside. So what I'm gonna do is the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a pass like this. Because I'm gonna pick up as much of that as possible. And I'm not gonna pre-spray it because I already know it's got a whole bunch of Resolve on it, which is gonna foam up based on my experience. So now, then I'm gonna scrub it. And then I wanna make sure I don't zigzag scrub it. If I zigzag service, it's gonna be a problem. And then I'm gonna remember the wicking because I do not wanna come back next week to do this spot again, all right? So after it's completely gone, I'm gonna take the towel. You need white towels like this. And I'm gonna put it on there. And if the stain is completely gone, I'm trying to dry it as much as possible before I leave. So there will be no possibility of wicking happening. That's my goal. All right, so now we'll bring the machine down. So there's coffee, right? It was spilled whole glass of it. It's not just sitting on the surface. It's probably inside. Wait, the point is, it's gonna wick up. So now I wanna pick up as much as possible for tomorrow to make sure that when it does completely dry, there is no wicking up. So what I wanna do is I wanna put my weight on it. Put this towel down on the spot, and then I'm gonna put my weight on it, and I wanna do that chubby checker twist like this. Okay? And I'm trying to dry it right now. Yeah, there's some dirt on there too. That's fine. Dirt is always good. It's just when you don't get dirt, that means that maybe the fiber is scratched and it's damaged.
That's why you use a white towel so you can see if it's dirt.
I want to see the dirt. Yeah. All right. So now, see, it's a lot less this time. And I want to just kind of put my weight on it, and then I get air mover, a fan like that one over there. I'm gonna put that on there. And the fan will make sure I don't have a callback. But you see how I did this? Now, if it was nylon, would that be different, you think?
Yeah.
Yes, then I'd have to use my oxygen to get rid of it. That's how you want to do all the jobs. Do your fiber ID first. Know what you're dealing with, the material you're dealing with. And then study the spot. If you can ask the customers, ask them as many questions as possible. And let's just say we assume that she told me it was Resolve on it, right? But customers usually won't tell you what's on there. But if you can get that information from it, it'll help. And what we did with that information is also important because we didn't pre-spray. Because it's already loaded with all kinds of stuff. Why would we pre-spray it and move all that stuff down inside? And then the first pass was just towards us. Not like the TV where you're gonna watch it when they just spray it down and they don't go over it right away, because that's also gonna increase your wicking. So you have to do that first pass towards you. And then the scrubbing always has to be back and forth. It cannot be zigzag with the trigger open ever.
So
That's
clean the whole carpet,
number one.
do I do the spot first?
No,
To do the whole carpet, then the spot?
yes. But in this particular case, you wouldn't have to do this because it'll come out just from the cleaning alone.
Okay.
But it's
So would
it's
it-
me knowing that.
In the pre-spray, would I just go around it and not spray that spot?
it'll be
Knowing that the
gone.
Resolve is in there?
No. Oh, you mean you spray
Like
some?
if-
Yeah.
Okay.
Just spray everything else, but not.
You just go around that?
You don't want to put anything on it.
Okay.
But just in this case, so every case is different, but you have to do your investigation to be able to know. So if it was a nylon, then more concern is that it's changed the color of it. And we need to get that oxygen in there so it changes back to its normal color. But it was polyester, so we didn't really have to worry about it. The only thing we had to worry about is the wicking. And now if I just put a fan on it, I will see the final results before I leave. There's no callback. How much does a callback cost you? It at least takes an hour of your time, and you have to still drive there. And if you have a machine, you still have to set it up. And then again, you just put a bad taste in your customer's mouth. And you think the customers who are like the higher income customers, do they really want to deal with your sloppiness? Probably not. Just do it right. And they want to be happy with it, not call you back. And you know what the stats is? 6 out of 7 people will not even let you know. Only 1 out of 7. So anytime someone complains about it, you know it's happened to 6 more people. You just haven't heard.
And they won't call you back ever again.
Yep, they won't. Yeah, that's the thing. They won't call you back. That's it. It's done.
Come check us out at magicwandcompany.com.